another Generation 2 Plasticon review! Woo! Welcome back to another Plasticon review. Today we're going to cover some more triple changing Generation 2 style. When I'm talking about triple changers, I'm talking about Generation 2 Octane. It's really interesting how you can take the Astrotrain shuttle and actually set it on the back of Octane. It looks really cool, especially in this mode because, you know, gigantic jumbo jet, space shuttle kind of goes together. But this color scheme is really awesome. It's got a very pastel-y look to it with this really kind of almost a vibrant, I'd say peachish pink color, along with this really cool looking lavender. You know, you got the nice sea green and then like this little bit of like a hint of, I don't know, a really faded yellow. Just looks great. Love the details that this entire thing has. Taking a closer look at his aircraft mode, he's a very awesome aircraft. I'm not absolutely sure which type of aircraft he's supposed to be. I do know he's supposed to be some type of refueling airliner, but I don't remember exactly the model he's supposed to be. But he is a very awesome looking plane. I love this whole checkering going on through the wings here. That just looks really cool. It's a very 90s thing to have. It's got nice Generation 2 emblems right there. One hanging out here on the top. And he's got another one over here on this other side. It's really cool that these are on the tail end. The window detail there's kind of picked out a little bit with some silver, not a whole lot. And then obviously he's got his tire detail, which, you know, he's always had his really weird dinky wheels back here and these odd strange wheels here in the front, which, you know, it looks pretty good. I don't think it's very intrusive. It's a very simple aircraft, and I actually like this. This is really cool because we don't get enough jumbo jet type of aircraft in Transformers, and honestly this is probably one of the coolest. I really do like it. It's very solid, very solid build. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and transform him into his alternate mode because he is a triple changer, so he turns into another vehicle. So let's do that. And here's Octane in his tanker truck mode. And this mode is really cool. I've always liked tanker trucks, and I've already been a fan of like airplanes and such, so this guy really kind of appeals to me just because of that. Other than the fact that when I was in the military I did have to work on fuel systems on aircraft, and this kind of really just hits all the buttons for me, because I remember having to back up semi-trucks like this to fill up aircraft. But here he is, and I do like him. I know a lot of people tend to dog him because of this situation here, these sticking out. I really kind of wished Hasbro could have engineered a thing where these actually slid in and out, but considering the body is only so big here, it'd be really difficult to try to get these two larger pieces to plug into here. And I do know the prototype years ago had like a different look, but I actually like this. I like how this pink cab looks really good with the little bit of yellow going on here, and this, you know, the sea green just turns into like the back half of the truck. It's really neat. I do like the idea that it's got the whole checkering kind of continued on onto the truck here, and then the G2 emblem right there. He's obviously got like a really cool decal here on the top for, you know, accessing the top of the truck. He's got the G2 emblem right here, right on the hood, which is nice. And then he's got the rear access here for, you know, the pump system, and a ladder here to kind of go up there. And then this right here is pretty much like for this is more or less like a maintenance bay. I do like this a lot. I love the detail. Like look at all the silver that's kind of picked out on the truck itself. Is very, very, very well done. It's got like the silver stacks, and then the windshield's actually picked out in silver as well. It's kind of, you know, roll over from the airplane mode. And it's got like this nice gigantic chromey front end, which is nice. I do like this thing a lot. It does scale, like I said, pretty well with your spy changers. So I got a crash test here. It actually looks really good with him. Kind of mirrors the colors really, really well. And then a good old G2 hubcap here kind of just shows you about how big he is. I mean, he is a fairly good sized truck. I do like the length of this truck. It's not entirely too large, but it's not entirely too small. If you need a different kind of size comparison, he's about as long as Motormaster is in truck mode, maybe a little beefier, but not by much. And here he is next to Astro Train and shuttle mode, which, you know, he really does compare very, very well to the rest of the triple changers. He fits in with these guys very well. But that isn't all this thing does, because this thing obviously has another mode, so we're going to do the next mode. And here's Octane in robot mode, and this is really where I think this thing shines. I really love the idea that all the colors kind of pop at this point. Although you don't really see the yellow very much, considering it's more or less in the waist portion in this mode. But on the back, it just really kind of just looks cool. To me, it's kind of like he's wearing like safety color, you know, because, you know, being a Octane truck and hauling fuel and such, you know, maybe you should have like cautionary stuff going on. I do love the fact that he does happen to come with he's got a rifle, and it was also his portion that goes on the back of the truck becomes a shield, which is kind of nice. Now, you can take the tail fin assembly, and it splits in half. And it kind of either can become another shield or a gun or whatever, and it's got this one little peg here that you're able to like put it on here. I mean, honestly, to me it looks kind of like a crossbow, but it's kind of weird how he has to hold it, because it doesn't really like fit all that well. But I mean, you can kind of do something like that with him if you wanted to. To be honest, this thing here I normally don't put on him. I normally kind of tuck it back behind him or something like that, so that way I don't lose that part, because this part here is very important for airplane mode. But it's really neat that he actually has like 3 different weapons, and it's kind of nice to have options. Options are always very, very useful. Taking a quick look at him though, I mean, he really does have a lot of cool detail. I like how his head sculpt's got all that nice silver sticking out there from the sea green, which looks very cool. He's just an all around really, really nice looking robot, I think. Doesn't really have a whole lot of articulation. Pretty much the arms move up and down. That's about it. You don't really get any articulation here. I mean, he does kind of tip back and forth, but that's no fault of the toy. It's just the design. And to be honest, it doesn't really fall over. It's a pretty stable robot. But putting him in the center here, I'm going to bring in his other two triple changer buddies. Good old Blitzwing. And then we got good old Astrotrain. This is where I think this really starts to come together. It just works very well. The three of these guys have always been on my top priority when it comes to triple changers. I just love these guys. I love trains, I love tanks, I love airplanes, I love semi-trucks, and this is everything all in one. I mean, space shuttles. I mean, who doesn't like, you know, orbiting vehicles and such? So this right here to me is like the ultimate team, because they literally can go everywhere but water. But Broadside's got that covered, so you know. Take it and leave it to the Autobots to have that going on. Anyhow, this has been Plasticon. This has been yet another Generation 2 review. I'll catch you guys later because I have plenty more coming your way. That's it for now. Bye!